You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
You guys are Americans,
On
right?
a clever segue to next topic.
The Deep V Club. I was in that in high school, but it was something else.
But the clone
Correct.
has to be about the same age.
Or, you know, is it glorifying that?
Mr. CEO, sir, I have some news about our cybersecurity, but before I tell you, I have to say code word banana.
I've got an important
here's a
question.
headline that... Oh, go ahead.
It's going to be more of a state of the podcast thing.
Can I do boob streaming where I have like a banana hammock that like you can see just the top of my nads in?
Yes.
It's just a tasteful
long-
amount.
As long as you cover your nipples, I think it'll be fine.
People always like to compare boobs to testicles, but that's not right.
That is true.
Yeah. It's definitely not.
It's still weird though. 'Cause I just want to say this before we start the podcast. Not that we haven't already started, but like there was Free the Nipple Day in Madison or something?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
it called?
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
usually do that. They had that when I was there.
Ladies walk around topless.
There was a naked bike
So,
ride a
like-
few weeks ago, too.
Yeah, well, that's different though, because like
That's different spots, too.
Free the nipple is like women should be able to be shirtless in public. And,
It's
like-
top free. Anywhere where it's acceptable for men to be
Yeah,
shirtless, females
Yeah.
should be able to.
and I will answer that. And it is not acceptable for men to be shirtless anywhere unless you're on a beach.
Bullshit. I am
I'm
pro
saying.
toplessness for both genders.
No, I think
Equality.
that if I don't want to be in a fucking Chipotle and some fucking hulked out dude, like half
Well,
naked
no, but if
bodies
you're
in
like
front of
out
me,
running or
lurching
something,
over the
like,
counter. If you're out
there,
jogging,
there are businesses
totally
that say
fine.
no
You're
shirt, no shoes, no service, specifically because it should be okay to not have those things when you're outside.
No, I think it's
And,
weird.
TJ
when I
was
see a
gonna
shirtless
TJ
guy.
was gonna ask an
It's the
important
same-
question.
No, I do want to correct. It's the top free movement, not the top list movement, because top list sounds like it's a stripping idea.
top free.
Okay.
Top free.
Anyway,
Free
I'm just saying,
the nipples.
if you think that you
All
want
of
to
them.
free your nipples, I will think that I am
gonna-
equally weirded
Don't-
out by seeing men's
Don't make me
nipples
free my
everywhere.
nipples. I actually don't know if I could do that on Twitch. Are man nipples allowed on Twitch?
No,
I
they're
don't know,
not. They are
let's not-
not allowed
man
on Twitch.
cleavage.
Oh.
You can see my sweet
different.
farmer's tan.
Let me just get that chest hair. Let me pull that out.
Yeah, you just pull it down into
yeah.
a super V.
It's just,
Low
I
res.
just like to
Deep
record
V.
a podcast
Deep V.
in a deep V. Yeah, we're gonna start the Deep V Club.
I've seen
right.
many of those.
Actually, the Deep V Club. I was in that in high school, but it was something else. It wasn't nearly as cool as this club.
All right, it's
Welcome
time
to
for our
Born
new
in the
theme
80s.
music.
We should have already started this.
Let's start.
This is all
Ready,
good.
steady,
Yep,
go.
all right.
I have it on good authority that this music isn't being claimed by anyone right now, so I figured we might as well just take it over.
All right, and we're here back with a new episode of John Rose Games Inc.
John Games
I'm
Inc.
taking it back. John Matt TJ Games Inc. Let's yeah, that's sad. That's over, but you know,
I
price
just
you
wanted
pay
to
for-
start off the podcast on a nice positive note that would not bum anybody out.
yeah. Welcome to the actual episode 282 of Born in the 80s. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt Hag.
And TJ May.
Yeah, we're all here today. We're recording way later in the week than usual, and I didn't put an episode out last week because I was on vacation, and I was gonna edit it Wednesday before I started packing, before I was leaving, because I left early Thursday morning, and I laid in bed after I ate dinner, and I woke up at like 9:30 p.m., and I was like, oh, crap. I
These
need
are
to
all
pack,
great excuses.
And it takes like 2 hours to edit the podcast and put up all this stuff, so that will
And
be
the
edited
computer
and
was
put up
really far away, and
tomorrow. So Monday we'll have an episode, and then this episode I'll put out later in the week. So we'll still have 2 episodes in a 2-week period, but 2 of them will be in 1 week instead of one every week. So sorry about that. I know we try and stay somewhat topical, So that one's way behind. We were probably talking about SNES Classic pre-orders or something back then.
So speaking of
that,
topical, well, I was gonna say I just downloaded the latest patch for my Pewdiepie's YouTube simulator. It is.
Oh, okay.
Wow, it's super racist.
Oh, okay.
That was a good segue, huh?
It's just the N word over and over and over again.
Yeah, man. You done fucked up, PewDiePie. You fucked up.
Yeah. Oh man.
So does everybody know?
Okay, so
everybody. I know John knows. TJ, do you know what the latest PewDiePie revelation has been?
We need to have an explainer for people that haven't seen this.
For the sake of conversation, I don't know, even though I do. Go ahead, explain what's going on.
Yeah, Matt, I want to hear your explanation of this.
Okay.
I want you to explain yourself.
Well, you know how there's that word that is like it's popular in rap songs and things, and there's a version that you're supposed to be like I guess. Well, I don't even know if you're supposed to be able to say either version, but there's the less offensive version and the terrible, more offensive version.
There's the one that ends with a light A sound, and is more like, man, maybe you shouldn't say that. That's weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of gross. And then there's the other version,
which is
I know that word.
Your grandfather say.
You're talking about cucumber.
Yep, that's
it's cucumber versus cucumber.
You can say my cucumbers, but sometimes when you're gaming and you get frustrated, you say stuff without thinking, and your brain will just immediately jump to whatever you're used to saying in that moment. And sometimes
like
you're live streaming, and sometimes it's a super racist word, and people get upset.
To quote Ian Miles Chong, popular Twitter asshole, who actually follows me. We had a follow back relationship back in the day. I knew him way before he started writing in games and stuff, just from internet talking. But his account kind of made a turn slowly in the last couple of years to being less about games and more about like defending racists. So he said, "We've all had a heated gaming moment." So that's my favorite description of what that is. I think some of my greatest heating gaming moments involve me throwing a controller onto the ground,
or saying words like
swear
fuck,
words,
or shit, or son of a bitch.
I've never used a slur, nor have I ever been around anyone else that's used a slur while playing video games.
I once said your god is inferior, but that's about as far as I've gone.
I mean, who knows? That
made
could be
me
accurate.
bleed just now. Yeah. So here's a pro tip for anybody that doesn't want to accidentally say racist stuff.
Situation.
Okay.
Yep.
What?
I just want to say exactly what happened. So
go ahead.
He was streaming PUBG, and he was I don't know exactly what it was, but he was on the bridge, and there were some bridge trolls that were shooting at him, and he said, "Oh, what a N-word," and with the hard R. And then he, about 2 or 3 seconds later, caught himself and said, "I'm sorry, I meant asshole," which is also digging deeper in the grave because you're equating those two words together.
Yeah.
With some sort of equivalency, and that doesn't take it back, especially when you're someone who is already known for posting a lot of joke, Hitler was right memes and whatnot to make funny things. And then all of a sudden you say a hate word like that streaming. So it's pretty much the worst thing you could do in his situation, because that's it. Like, there's no ambiguity anymore. He's crossed the Rubicon in my mind, because that was like you said, it was an unguarded moment. So that was kind of his real situation. Like, that was him. So
and so here's a tip: if you don't want to accidentally say racist shit like in public, don't say it in private either. And if you can manage it, try not to be racist.
Yeah. That's not cool, bro.
John,
And,
the chat wants to know what you're
I
doing
hope-
down there.
No, he's talking to me because I've been playing with my straps in a very uncomfortable position.
So I usually write... I usually write notes on this pad. I was doing something, though, too. And my pen is I don't know if you can see this on the stream, a 0.7 size lead, and there was a much larger size lead stuck in there, and so I had to get it out so it could actually...
And I'm dealing with a
lead
tragic cat-based injury that just happened.
out. Oh my god,
So I might
that's tragic.
die. Oh, I've got Neosporin right next to me, though, so I'm good.
So let's
This
also
podcast
talk
is brought
about
to you by Neosporin.
a little bit more about PewDiePie. So he had... Oh, so what is this at this point? Where are we at now? This is a big deal, I think.
Now,
Yeah.
first
The
of
other
all,
thing
we're still on
Yep,
the
go.
early side of the fallout here.
this
So,
literally
yeah.
happened this morning. Well,
Yes. So there's going to be a lot of criticisms going to go on. There's going to be a lot of talk.
There's going to be a lot of assholes on podcasts weighing in on it.
He's weaseled his way out of this before, and I mean, in a much broader than YouTube, gaming culture, Twitch culture, whatever. Stuff has been, oh yeah, we're gonna show our, we're gonna show our support. We can't let this go, and nothing happens. I'm just worried we're gonna end up. It's gonna be nothing happens.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what I would necessarily expect to happen, but
the Firewatch guys have
correct.
filed
so let's
a
go over
claim
that
to get
situation.
all
I
of
have
their
that in the
stuff
news.
removed. Okay.
Yeah, so game developer Sean Vanman, who I believe is the CEO of Campo Santo, or not the CEO, maybe the chief creative director. Okay, co-founder. So he had written the Walking Dead Season 1 game, and he co-directed Firewatch with his... Jake Rodkin, I believe, is his co-creator, co-conspirator with the other game as well.
yeah.
And so he had said, we're filing a DMCA takedown against PewDiePie's Firewatch content and any future Campo Santo games. And honestly, one of the things about Firewatch was when PewDiePie played that game, it blew up and sold a lot of copies, because he was messing around in the game. I don't remember if he did a full playthrough, but I think, full playthrough. 5.7 million views, a full playthrough of that. And description in the video, he says it's a wonderful story-driven game. Like, this was all good, good press for the game, basically, and sold a lot of copies. So here's the exact quote. Sorry, as well. What the fucking N-word while killing an opponent? Sorry, but what the fuck? What a fucking asshole. Yeah. So it was very clear that he clearly casually drops that word. Because you don't just say that out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like you said, that's something that you're using in private that comes out. So, Sean Van went on a bit of a tweet storm about this, saying, he's saying he's worse than a closeted racist. He's a propagator of despicable garbage who does real damage to the culture around this industry. They filed a DMCA notice against the videos. I'm sick of this child getting more and more chances to make money off of what we make here on Twitter. By reaching out to the folks much larger than us to cut him off from this content that has made him a millionaire. I love streamers. I watch them daily and sent out about 3,000 keys to professional and amateur streamers of Firewatch. He says, all streaming is infringement, but devs and publishers allow it because it makes us money too. Freedom of speech is also freedom of prosecution. His stream is not commentary, it is ad growth for his brand. Our game on his channel equals our endorsement of his views. So we do not want to be associated with him. And this is a really sticky situation in my mind. Because, I think he's an awful person. I don't think a company should be allowed to file a DMCA takedown notice after they dislike someone years later.
There's a slippery slope that's going to lead to, oh, you gave me a bad review, so I'm going to give you a DMCA copyright notice.
Correct.
And I'm just worried that that's going to,
This is very similar. This is very similar to the World of Tanks situation with their streamer who criticized one of the new tanks, and they were like, "Well, we're going to take away your rights as a brand ambassador, and also we're going to copyright claim all of your videos." Especially when PewDiePie's videos probably are under, or not even probably, this is 100% fair use, him playing a full playthrough of that game, talking over it, because people aren't there to watch Firewatch. People are there to watch PewDiePie when they watch his videos. You know what I mean? So that is like insane. But it also, it's really messed up because the legality is kind of murky around this.
So going back to
going forward, what could either game companies or whatever do? Can they?
I don't know what game companies could actually do on that, other than not sponsor him as much going forward. You do not have a paid stuff, but going back to in the chat, we've got Gauging Gadgets who said, what do you guys think should happen to him? And it's complicated because at the end of the day, you would hope that public who's watching him sees this outcry and shows their support, saying that this isn't cool, and goes ahead and mass unfollows, stops watching his videos. But I know that's not going to happen. I don't know what's going to come out of this. I don't know what I would want to happen, other than people to have their heads on their shoulders before watching content, knowing what kind of stuff they're going into. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
well, okay. It really kind of bothers me, in a way, because this is something that he recorded years ago before any of this controversy happened. And then he says something awful that nobody should like and is terrible and makes him a bad person. There's no question about that. But to go back in the past and pull a video in which you profited from and he profited from something in the past is a bit weird to me. It's just, it's their right, I guess, to try and, exercise their copyright rights because, it is their game. They did make it. And a lot of times, you said, they give streamers and YouTubers a lot of leeway. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, as long as you're not playing footage of our game over some hate speech, we're going to be okay with you using it, or you're not you know what I mean? You're not abusing this fair use, basically. But this seems like a stretch to me. You know what I mean? And it sucks because I think it's going to test what is available to be copyright claimed, because that's rough. It's already kind of a murky waters when it comes to it. I know Ethan Klein and Gila Klein from H3 had their issues with Matt Haas's video, and he had claimed copyright infringement and sued them, and they had finally just won that case 2 weeks ago, where the judge essentially threw out the lawsuit saying this is clearly fair use, and the guy was out the cash, and it sucks. It looks like we're gonna have more of these fights sooner rather than later. Thanks, PewDiePie.
Yeah.
there was a light balance happening, and then he kind of just stepped all over it.
So it looks like he's networked with Maker Studios, so they could do some punitive stuff with him. But other than that,
I thought he was kicked off Maker.
Oh, did that happen?
I thought he was kicked off Maker from the last one.
Oh,
I'm fairly certain he was kicked off Maker for all the Nazi stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, Disney is not.
So then it completely falls on other prominent YouTubers and I guess the YouTube community to just decide whether they think this is okay.
Yeah, I don't want to
I
see
guess,
an
like,
H3 video next week, and where he's defending PewDiePie. That happened the last case, and they actually had to retract their video because they had come to some very false conclusions about the Washington Post, or was it the Wall Street Journal, where they had made some claims about what they had said, and that had been not true. And so I would say, if you're a YouTube content creator, and I'm sure you'll have fans asking, what do you think about all this? Don't say anything. Don't comment. Say racism's bad, but I'm not going to talk about PewDiePie because we're going to talk about my own channel.
Condemn it if you
just cut it off. Condemn it. Cut it off. But you know what I mean? Like, don't comment.
And then
about
he'll
specifics.
like.
That's my free advice.
It's just tough to like.
Anyway.
He's not really going to have any consequences to this unless if everyone decides that they're not going to watch him. I mean, I deleted the Tuber app so that he's not getting like 40 cents from me watching ads or whatever. But like, unless if everybody does that, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
YouTube's not going to do shit because like you could still have pregnant Elsa Spider-Man videos, and YouTube is like just garbage, and they don't care what the actual content is anymore.
How well are those videos doing after the adpocalypse? Because I'm not hearing them flourishing as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a nice segue to go from here, if we're going to talk about racism, is talk about that South Park game.
Yeah! I thought that was amazing.
Yeah,
TJ, what's going on with the new South Park game?
Explain it for the folks, TJ.
Yes. I'll do the explanation first, but I'm definitely torn because there's definitely some sides here. So South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
Yep.
In the character creation setting, well, let's go back. South Park: The Fractured But Whole is a South Park game made by Trey and Matt that takes place right after their previous game, the Stick of Truth. This game is being themed around superheroes and superpowers instead of like Lord of the Rings and Sword and Sorcery. A non-standard character of the South Park universe that you get to create yourself. And on the character creation screen for this new game, when you get to the part that lets you choose your skin tone color, that skin tone gradient scale is also the difficult level, going from easiest for the palest skin color all the way through most difficult at the darkest skin color.
Yeah.
And each level is accompanied by some flavor text, if I remember correctly.
Sure.
I think it's Cartman
I
narration.
watched a video of it. Yeah.
So I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was along the lines of the difficult. Oh, it's the difficulty slider itself has the flavor text, and it's the difficulty of the battles will not change, regardless of what difficulty you pick. You just will be earning less money, and people will treat you worse, or something along those lines.
Correct.
The more difficult you pick. Which is an obvious nod to both white privilege and to institutional racism, which can be looked at as both just a commentary on society, looking at it, taking a snapshot, this is something that exists, or is it glorifying that? And that's been the debate. That's been why people have been kind of getting up in a stink about it. A lot of people are like, oh, this is kind of cool, because we're doing this. But like, is it though? Will this help us progress? Your thoughts?
I don't know. I thought it was more just a commentary than actually trying to fix anything. Because that's what South Park's satire. They point out stuff like that in a way that makes it more palatable. So
that is pretty much the whole thing. Yeah.
I do hope there's some way to uncouple it so that, like, if a person of color wants to play a character that looks like them but just doesn't want to deal with the extra shit that goes along with it, like, that would be nice that they could do.
Yeah. I think this is perfect. I think that the people that dislike this are probably the same people that dislike South Park as a whole, which is fair. I mean, if that's you don't.
Well, yeah, there's probably a couple of levels of dislike.
They're cutting straight through the fucking shit and just being blunt about it. They're saying we're gonna make our game more like what the real world is like. If you're a person of color or a transgendered person, or you're going to have a harder time. And specifically, I believe they said if you are a transgendered person or black character in the game, I think that you're attacked by rednecks as soon as you leave the school, which is just interesting. And from what it sounds like, it doesn't seem like the difficulty slider actually changes the difficulty of the game. It just changes the way that the interactions happen in the game. So if you're a black character, you're gonna have a different experience than a white character, which is interesting that they even do that, because most games, every character is just
fitting even within
blank palette.
It's fitting within the South Park universe too.
Exactly.
Like, story level.
I mean that. Yeah. That's really what gets it for me, is that this is just them doing what they do, and that's pushing buttons and being honest. They're not trying to, you know what I mean? When you say glorifying it, I mean there's something to that in a way, because this is two white men, showing their game, but also, I mean, they're doing what they're going to do. You know what I mean? That I feel like it's something I would expect from them, and I think is a biting.
They shine the spotlight so we can take a harder look at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now we're having this conversation. So
I think it's a really awesome criticism of the world that they're putting into a game that they didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game that could skirt stuff like that. And for the most part, I think for the most part, the first game didn't really have anything controversial in that aspect. I mean, that game had. I don't think anything really was super controversial in the other game past what you've seen in South Park in the past.
Zombie.
Yeah, but
but
that was
that's
like
just every day.
Such an insane thing beyond any level of recognition that it's like, that. Whereas this kind of hits a lot more home in terms of the racial discourse in the country nowadays.
So, did I tell you guys about? So, South Park: This Fractured But Whole was playable at my conference.
Okay.
The particular scene that seemed to be on every single screen, and I think it was the only part of the game that was playable. You infiltrate a strip joint, and you end up being mistaken for one of the dancers there, and have to give a lap dance and grind a gentleman to completion.
Oh no!
Yeah, these games are. I mean, in the first game, I mean, it's a spoiler, but you do go to an abortion clinic for one of the scenes, and there's quite a lot going on there, including the, as you said, aborted Nazi fetuses coming. So, and then they push buttons.
Anal probing scene. First game had the anal probing scene too.
Yeah, and
I
then
need to finish the first game.
The anal probing scene is real good, or the parents scene. If you're the sex scene with your parents, it's pretty good. Did you get that far, TJ?
No, I've seen some of the scenes
gnomes?
Though.
Yeah, so the underpants gnomes.
I got 2 hours into the game.
The underpants gnomes shrink you down, and then you end up walking into your parents' bedroom while they're having sex, and you have to dodge genitalia during a combat scene. It's insane, actually, but it's awesome, because that's kind of what's so great about that game, is it just really goes fucking balls to the wall, literally, in that scene. But I'm glad to see that they're not pulling any punches on this. They're going full on.
So that'd be balls to the vulva.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was going on.
And when it really comes down to it, the color of skin that we're born with is just a random lottery, like some sort of skin lotto that we all gambled on.
Like some sort of CSGO skin lottery.
For anyone listening to this for the first time, we do not script or get these
no, I'm just
segues
that
set up in
good.
advance.
Let's see here.
Throw as much shit in the doc as we can, and then we can make smooth transitions by picking and choosing. So what's going on with
remembered T. Martin.
Sorry,
I'm
making fun of
yawning.
you
It's late. I was on a trip all weekend, so
John's
I'm
bedtime.
tired. It is because I chose not to nap today because I knew I'd have to sleep before work, so I needed to not stay up all night. So T. Martin and Syndicate, Thomas Castle, Syndicate, the two streamers who were on CSGOLotto.com. The FTC reached a settlement with them, and there's a whole publicly available PDF going through their settlement. But I will give it's all above board here, saying that the terms of the agreement require both Castle and Martin disclose their business ties to anything they endorse on their channels going forward. Their failure to do so with CSGO Lotto led to the complaint in the first place. So now they're going to have to disclose the business ties with anything that they talk about on their channels. They're saying, if you, and this is something that's kind of already been an unspoken rule with YouTube videos and sponsor content, and it's kind of been up to the YouTube personalities. I know there are some of the Yogscast streamers have all kind of done this lately, where they'll, when they have a video out where they were paid to go visit, Games Workshop and play the new what's it called? Total Warhammer game.
Yeah.
They'll say, okay, this is, this is not, I forget, this is made possible by that. And sometimes they'll just put it in the description, but I think lately they've been an abundance of caution, actually specifically calling it out in every video as sponsor content, because that was the right thing to do. And that was kind of what a lot of people have been saying, you should do this to be safe. You know what I mean? And so, obviously, if we go back to the T. Martin and Syndicate thing, they were basically pretending to win CSGO Lotto skins on a website, that they actually ended up owning part of. So it was very clear that they were just driving users to the gambling website by pretending to win stuff off this random website. Which was very, the most sketchy thing you can do in terms of sponsor content. So they did an apology. Valve and other third-party betting sites got a lot of these CSGO betting websites shut down anyway. But the FTC continued to deliberate past that about the extent of how they failed to disclose their business ties. So this is the first ever settlement with social media influencers. And what they say is, this is Maureen Olhausen, the FTC's acting chairman. Consumers need to know when social media influencers are being paid or have any other material connection to the brands endorsed by their posts. This action, the FTC's first against individual influencers, should send a message that such connections must be clearly disclosed so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. It seems very cut and dry that, before, I think clearly disclosed was people maybe putting a tiny link in the video description. I think that needs to be a lot more clear going forward for YouTube people, Instagram people, Snapchat people, anyone being paid to put stuff on their social media, including like YouTube and Twitch. So I think we'll see a lot more #SpawnCon posts in the future. So
now,
yeah,
all
that's
of my
kind of where
legal
it's
knowledge comes from the Court Appointed podcast, but if I'm interpreting this correctly, like the biggest implication isn't even Martin and Castle themselves. It's the fact that
Correct.
this is now legal precedent that social media influencers are bound by the rules of the FTC. So this will get quoted
Correct.
or cited in future cases and possibly can bring more rules to bear
Yes, this is
on
never-
social media influencers.
This had never gone as far as the FTC settling. This had been in the past other social media people like your Kim Kardashians and whatnot getting warning letters from the FTC, but never any action taken. Whereas the action taken here was both Florida State and Valve kind of cutting off the website and skin gambling stuff on both ends. Valve, closing off the APK for people to do the skin gambling, and Florida shutting that company down. And now they've said this is the line. Do not cross this line. We know it now. It's set in stone. So see that in the future.
I'm glad.
I am too.
At the end of the day, it's really about transparency. When it comes to, I'm being paid by this, I gotta say this is a paid ad. If I'm, if I was given this, like, game for free with no other strings attached, there's that. I'm, even with me, in my position working at the GameStop, I do get stuff for free, and it's different than for influencers, but I just happen to also sometimes
we have
stream.
no influence.
Because we have no influence, exactly.
I mean, that's part of it.
But I'm still pretty transparent about, hey, this is something I got for free. Hey, let's take a look.
Yeah. It's
like,
always best to
for
err on the side of
instance-
being more transparent and disclosing more than not.
Like, for instance, there's a game I got for free this week.
What'd you get this week?
Destiny 2.
Oh gosh.
Segue.
So
Segue.
I wanted to buy Destiny 2, and I was like, oh yeah, that's out. Oh, I was gonna go on vacation, but I was like, you know what? I could check this out. I went onto my Battle.net account, and I was like, all right, let me get this set up, and I'll just download it, and then when I get back from my vacation, I'll be able to play on my PC. And then what happened, TJ?
The PC version got pushed back a while back. But
Yeah.
Late October, if I remember correctly?
Nobody told me. October 24th.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, that's like a whole month and a half after the release date. And I was like, it's a shooter, so I like to play my shooters on a computer with a mouse look, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
oh, but here's the real thing though, TJ. Do you have Destiny 2 on PS4?
Yes.
And do you play on PS4?
Yes. Well, Destiny 2, yeah.
Will you play with me on PS4?
Yes, I will play with
Alright.
anyone on
All
PS4.
right. Matt, do you have Destiny 2?
No.
He doesn't have a PS4.
Will you have Destiny 2 on PC?
I don't know. It depends.
Okay, see, now
I'm
I don't know which one to
interested,
buy. I'm
But
gonna
now, well, go with TJ then, because I'm interested, but I might
Uh-huh.
lose track by the time I can actually afford to get it, and just get Star Wars Battlefront instead.
Or the fact that
This-
it's not out for another month and a half, Like,
This exact conversation is the reason why it took me so freaking long to get Overwatch.
yeah.
Because it's like, hey, my buddy's from Xbox. Is anyone playing Overwatch? Not really. Oh, my buddy's on PS4. Is anyone playing Overwatch on PS4? Not really. Oh, my buddy's on PC. Are playing Overwatch? My PC sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like I can play with people that I know on PC and get PS2 level graphics at 12 frames per second.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
I
don't mind playing it on PC, you know what I mean? Like, or playing it on consoles, because I played the first one on there and everything.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. PC would be awesome because I'm a PC gamer at this point.
No, that's completely understandable.
But I probably will end up buying it for PS4. The reviews seem to be good. TJ, what do you think about it so far?
So what do I think about it? I do have some hot takes. I've played probably about 7-8 hours or so. I'm currently level 11. So the biggest thing is I'm going to do a lot of comparison to Destiny 1 and just give you an overall feel for it as well.
Okay.
So Destiny 1, I have a weird relationship with. I bought it at launch, full price. I played it for 2 nights, a total of 4 hours. I'm like, this game's pretty good. I'm going to probably keep playing it, but I'm going to wait until I can really put time into this because it's really World of Warcraft with a Halo skin on top. You're playing Halo, but it's World of Warcraft. So I put it down and played a bunch of other games. Didn't get back to it for a year. Bought it for Xbox One, and I then brought my character up, played it for another 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, this is feeling really good. I put it down again and didn't really play it until this year, 2017, January. Played a lot of the content. I saw how a lot of the beginning of the game of Destiny 1 was pretty devoid of really good story. You didn't feel like you were a part of it. You just happened to be a little person doing your own thing in a world that had its own story on the side. But the combat was great. I'm a big fan of the I'm a big fan of the combat, the loot system. I know it was much of a huge grind at the beginning. Destiny 2, right from the beginning, throws you right into story. Throws you right into thank you for following the put up. He has to. We can thank him. All right.
Yes.
Destiny 2 throws you right into story. You are, and this isn't really spoilers. It's all in the ads for it. They throw you in the battle against the Cabal-led Red Legion. Cabal is just an alien race. They're big, bulky suits. They are taking Earth's last city, the only place that you guys have as home, and they are destroying it and have taken your little planetoid traveler, the thing that's given you guys your powers and your light, and are trying to take it away. All the Guardians lose their light, which loses their ability to regenerate. You basically get kicked out and left for dead, and then you, without the ability to revive if you die, are kind of seeking out light again, and you find a shard of the Traveler, you get your powers back, but a lot of Guardians aren't. So it puts you right in the story. The combat's so much better than the first one. Everything feels really fluid, and it doesn't feel as unfair in terms of loot drops. It's still there, here and there. So I do rank early game Destiny 2 a lot higher than Destiny 1. But one of the things I liked about Destiny 1 is either through in-game play or through actual money, you're able to buy these things called shaders. Shaders are basically, I can make my entire armor set look cool, all the same coloration, so I can look decent and be kind of my individual self.
And so you don't
Destiny
look like
2
you have a hodgepodge of random pieces.
Exactly. Destiny 2 shaders are consumable items, which means when you use it, it applies to that particular item, and then it's gone. They usually come in packs of 3, and the only way to get them is through either real money or once you get max level, every level up every time you level up with experience again, you get one of these bright engrams, which is the paid things that you can decrypt into random shaders, random mods, random additional things. And it's a not fair system at all, where I can't, I'll get a set of 3 shaders, and I have 4 pieces of outfit to shade. And if I ever have to outclass a piece of outfit, and I sell it, that shader's gone too. I don't get it back.
Yeah, that's the thing that they did in this game, is that they made shaders a one-use item only.
Yep.
That's super annoying way to monetize. I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know how
it
I feel
is.
about that.
it isn't. But
like,
I mean, like in other games, they have, like I think in World of Warcraft, there's a lot of single-use items as well, and it's not like everything you get is something you get to have forever. It's part of an
Exactly.
economy, but also they've been kind of cheesy late in the past with microtransactions, so it's kind of hard to believe that this isn't something they're going to. Oh, buy a random pack of shaders. $5, you get 10 shaders. Like randomly.
yeah.
Just to, and stuff. Yeah.
Buy a shader box.
So-
It'll open with cool
At the end of the
animation.
day, in terms of the gameplay, I'm loving Destiny 2 more than I did Destiny 1. It feels better, feels more but that shader thing is only bugging me just because I wanted to get a cool green and silver set. Born in the 80s rating skill, at least early game, because I've not gotten level 20, I've not done a lot of
patented
end-game
5-star
stuff.
system.
Patent 5-star system, it's a 4 out of 5. I'm going to highly recommend it. And
I think that's
on
what
the,
we gave the original Destiny.
on the Destiny the Games subreddit, one of the things that has been at least circulating is if shaders is really the only thing we're complaining about, the game's got to be freaking solid.
Yeah, that's
If
pretty
all
good.
Yeah,
we're
that
complaining
is
about is
true.
shaders.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, would you even notice if they weren't the other way in the first game? Like, I don't know.
Well,
It's kind of
and
just
they also added
it's a big deal because it
functionality.
was there and then they took it away. So
Yeah, and they added the functionality of now shaders are piece of equipment specific, so you could mix and match and make your own styles, whereas before a shader would make your whole character a different color.
Yeah.
So now you can have a lot more customization for your character, which is nice. But yeah, so there's a trade off there. So that's cool. I love the first Destiny, and like that game played so well. Like the shooting is just so tight. Bungie knows how to make great combat games. Like the game looked amazing. The skyboxes, the character designs, everything was so great in that game, except for it felt empty once you got past through the campaign. And the campaign was really not fun to play alone. But if you have someone to play co-op through the whole game, it's really fun. And Adam and I played that entire game through in co-op. We had a blast doing it. We did a bunch of strikes and stuff co-op with a lot of other people, and that was really fun. But once we ran out of stuff, it was like, all right. And then the raid came out, and you need 6 people, and I only had me and him, and I could have probably found people online and gotten into it, but it just was too much of a commitment for me. But I really think I'm going to end up picking this game up, but I might have to wait a bit. I got a lot of other games to play. And there's a lot of other great games coming out this fall, including a game we haven't really talked about on this podcast very much, but we've had a suggestion to talk about. But the Call of Duty World War II beta happened, I think, last weekend or the weekend before.
It was not the weekend we're currently in.
Yep.
It's the previous weekend for both Xbox and PS4, and the one before that for PS4.
Okay, yeah, they had some exclusive streaming or exclusive beta stuff.
Last bit on Destiny, because I don't want to forget. It's straight up, just because I want to be transparent.
Way to ruin the seg.
I know. Destiny
we gotta
2,
be transparent.
I was given both the game and the expansion pass for free.
Oh,
Just
man.
want to be transparent
So
about that.
that's why you got that 4 out of 5, huh?
No.
You
Yeah.
bastard.
Well, it's
We're
the
gonna
only
file a
reason I played it
DMCA
now instead of
against this
waiting 3 months.
podcast.
Yeah.
Also,
so-
we should see if Adam's up to playing it, if he's getting it.
Yeah, actually, I'll talk to him because then we would have 3-man for strikes and stuff.
Exactly.
So, all right, Call of Duty. I have played almost every game that's come out. I skipped. What is it? What was the one right before this one?
Infinite Warfare.
I played that one. What was the one before that though? That
Black
was
Ops
the,
3?
Infinite.
Black Ops. That was it. The Black Ops series. I played Advanced Warfare. I really like that. I didn't play the Black Ops games. I don't know. It was just an off year for me. I had Titanfall to play maybe that fall. I don't remember. No, Titanfall 2 was the same as Infinite, wasn't it? I love
Titanfall 2 was.
I love Call
It
of
was
Duty.
3 shooters last year.
Yeah,
3 big shooters
all in
last
like a
November,
row.
October.
It was like,
Yep.
yeah, one came out after another, including Battlefield 1 came out like the week after Titanfall 2, and it kind of stepped on the toes.
2, and then right to Call of Duty.
Yeah. And people kind of really bounced off that Call of Duty. They didn't like the sci-fi. I love sci-fi stuff, so I got way into
The campaign.
the campaign of Infinite, and I love it because I'm way into sci-fi stuff, and it really felt different than the way the Call of Duty games have been doing. But this seems again like they're going in a different direction, and from what I've read, because I didn't pre-order the game, so I didn't play the beta, but I'm reading a lot about the reviews of the beta and people talking about it, and they're like, this really feels like that old school Call of Duty 2 kind of feel. Like it's moved back to that. The crazy jetpack boosting and all that stuff has really toned down. You're just running around corners shooting guys. Dropping a grenade.
Yeah. Iron
it's
sights
not really,
and
Maybe
maybe a scope if you're a sniper class.
Yeah, and people are saying, it's not like it's a slower pace game because you're not doing all that stuff, because it's still the Call of Duty real fast twitch, shooting, and really tight, corridors that the Call of Duty games have always been about. But it's just kind of has the feel of, the Call of Duty 2. I played a ton of that multiplayer back in the day, or the first Modern Warfare, where you didn't really have a lot of crazy, gadgets and stuff that do that. So it sounds like the way that the game is split up into this is that you have instead of classes, you have like role-based divisions. There's infantry, airborne. There's a bunch of. I don't have the list here, but it's kind of the way they did it. I actually watched someone play a bunch of this beta, and it seemed really cool. Like each one of the divisions is like a different part of the army, and they have like a little not propaganda video, but like a little explanation saying join the airborne, join that, which really kind of felt cool. And I think the demolitions guys are British, soldiers, and the Americans are the airborne, the infantry, and the French resistance are like the scouts, and so there's all these kind of cool different fighters going to be. I don't really know how that works on the German side or Italian side or the Axis side, because I don't think you do that. I don't know how the game works then. Does it skin you as a German then if you're the bad guys fighting, or is it just allies fighting allies in World War II situation? Because I guess I only ever watched someone play as an ally. But anyway, it seems pretty cool. This is another one of those ones I'm gonna have to wait to come out. I guess I'm the only person who plays.
I'll probably.
There are black Nazis in the game, says our viewer, the put up. It's really interesting. What that because I know a lot of people are like, oh, we got to have historical accuracy. You know what I'm saying? And these games, these old games, and then I'm kind of on that, and a little bit because I'm like such a history buff kind of guy, but also at the point where I'm like, these are video games. This isn't like a historical reenactment. This isn't some crazy thing. I don't think anyone's going to have played Call of Duty World War II and been like, man, those black Nazis ruined the experience for me. It's just kind of weird.
At the end of the day, this might be one of the last major shooter games, because I'm not going to count Sniper Elite, but it's probably one of the last major shooter games that will take place in World War II.
Yeah.
To actual people in World War II.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they are dying out.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Because
they're old. But
I didn't know that they had black Nazis, which again, the history person in me is being like, what is that?
I didn't even know shooters
really
were doing
odd.
character customization.
Oh man. So I honestly don't know what the game is doing in that, but I've come down to the point where I've just been like, you know what? At this point, there's no way to be. There's just no way to not. There's no way to do this correctly in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, there's just because if you're being historically accurate, then there's probably characters who would like, or players who are people of color would like to customize their character to be, this is kind of the guy I want to play, and then not having that option is kind of like, why don't you? What's holding you back? Some weird historical accuracy argument on a video game, whereas like, if you really want to see the real deal, watch a documentary, read a book, and learn the history.
Like, shooters are not anything what like real combat is anyway, so why would you, I don't know why you would be a stickler about historical accuracy and skin tones.
So Betty White actually is I don't think she was on our Deadpool that we had many years ago on this podcast.
I don't think she was.
I don't think we had Betty White on the Deadpool. I hope she's got 10 more years. I hope she can crack the next decade of television.
Yeah, I hope so. It'll happen.
I understand. Thank you. We have a chatter who believes that Betty White is a fossil. She needs to understand her time is running out.
Hot takes.
I don't know. I think we're going to learn in the coming decades that Betty White is some sort of time robot that never ages. She just perpetually looks 90. And we're not going to get past it. It's
now,
what's
do you
happened.
think that Betty White is in an alliance with the lizard people that secretly rule all of our lives?
That's what I'm saying. Well, remember in the conspiracy episode way back, I think she's one of those clone people that she has those clone bodies that she's constantly, getting copies of.
Yeah, and just transferring her consciousness into it. But the clone has to be about the same age, so it's not visible.
Yeah.
It's just that she has stopped aging. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll question it in a few years, and maybe she'll decide to retire and die. But she'll be living off on a clone farm,
just like
else.
Elvis, right?
Yeah, Elvis. Yeah, he's still alive, somewhere, and probably playing Call of Duty World War II. Honestly,
actually, Elvis likes.
I don't know if
Overwatch.
I'm going to pick that up. Elvis is an Overwatch guy. He mains. Him and
Elon just play Overwatch.
I don't know if I'm going to play Call of Duty World War II. I probably will pick it up. I've played almost every single one of them. And I like World War II games. I like historical shooters. I like the stuff they've been putting out. But there's so many games right now.
I'm still playing Battlefield 1942. It's historical in two respects.
Call of Duty World War II, I probably won't be playing with you then, mostly because I know you'll be getting it on PC.
I don't know, though.
Getting it on console.
No, I don't know. I'm not going to get it on PC.
You can't play Call of Duty on
now.
a console.
Mm-mm. So, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I bought it on PC because it was on sale. Nobody fucking bought it on PC, and there was nobody playing online for me to play against. So, I think if I would have bought that on PS4,
that does suck when there's not crossplay.
Yep, you're kind of trapped.
Yep.
Hold on, I have to send a message.
I just got a friend request from some weird person on Steam, and I don't even know.
So transition. Speaking of Call of Duty, sometimes you get called to watch a movie, and I watched the movie that everyone is talking about this weekend. I'm talking about, of course, the Super Mario Brothers movie that is available to watch on YouTube. Man, that's a whole pile of poo. It's even worse than I remember it being.
Oh, man. I love that movie. I love that movie in its in its horror, I love that movie.
It's just
In its
complete
horror,
lack of
that's the good way to
understanding
call it.
about anything to do with Mario or video games in general.
Glug 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 glug.
Oh man, Mario. That thing fucked up Mario's like whole like canon. Like,
Is
so
that where
much.
canon for Mario comes in?
I believe so. I'm Mario, and here's my brother Luigi Mario.
That's the only place it's ever referenced that they have a
Yeah.
last name.
Yeah, so like there's all the world building they threw into that fucking that movie terrified me as a kid. Like I was like, "What? This isn't Mario." Anyway, so what was the reviewing like?
It was just
Why?
like
Why did you watch this?
there was a lot of drinking involved, and
Okay, that makes
we were
makes
playing
sense.
a lot of old games, and then somehow it came up in conversation, and one of the people there had never seen it, so we had to watch it.
Okay.
Just like the only one that I can forgive in that cast is really John Leguizamo, because he was still like at the beginnings of his career.
He was young.
But everyone
He
else, I
didn't
was
know
like,
any
why
better."
did you agree to do this? Like Dennis Hopper as
Yeah.
King Koopa. I mean, he's in a lot of bad stuff, but he's in good stuff too.
I mean, Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
The immortal Bob Hoskins is Mario. As an Italian. A British man playing an
it's
Italian.
me, Mario.
So what was the if I remember correctly on set? Was he drunk every day or on cocaine every day? What's the urban legend?
Dennis Hopper?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cocaine.
Dennis Hopper loved
No,
cocaine.
no, Hoskins. Bob Hoskins.
Hoskins
Hoskins
was
seems more like a
alcoholic.
booze man.
If I remember correctly, I think there were a lot of rumors where Hoskins is an alcoholic. So,
Because he was in Roger Rabbit too, wasn't he?
Who Framed Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit? Pretty
Yeah.
close to that.
Good in
time
that,
as well.
though.
Yes.
Man, yeah.
Man.
Not much you can say about the Super Mario Brothers movie other than it sure is not good.
It sure happened.
It sure was a thing that happened. I figure it was probably like a money laundering operation, like the fact that it got
That
made at
makes
all.
sense. That
Yeah.
I could see that. That actually does happen though. When you look at Japanese director Takashi Miike's whole like catalog, he's made I think his 100th movie is coming out this year, and a lot of those early ones were funded heavily by the Yakuza, and I have to imagine a lot of drug money went into buying that movie, and then the revenue from the sales was the laundering part. But that's the way they did it, so maybe we add it over here. And you have the Italians.
Hey, make a movie
Mario,
about
Mario.
our favorite video game character. I'm Italian. This is what Italians sound like, I think.
Yeah,
I did see another movie, though, just nigh on 6 hours ago. I saw it, and then
You saw
you
what?
have to say, there you go. I saw the movie It. It was about
saw
a
it.
nice, friendly clown and some children, and they get up to hijinks, and then everybody has a good, fun time.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was like, is there anything less conducive to actually being scared than being in a crowded theater full of people?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm probably going to think about it and it's going to scare me later when I'm like near drains and things like that. But yeah, it didn't spook me, but it was very visually cool and all the kids were
I heard it
great
was
actors.
really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Neat to see.
And the tone was just super dark and creepy in all the right ways. And it's got that kind of Stephen King-y thing where there's a supernatural horror, but also everybody in the town is just like awful, terrible people, and there's the real life horror with that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're planning on building like a kind of a sequel out of this as well. I guess the book also. I've not read the book, but I think there's a time jump in the book.
Yeah,
they're gonna
have you seen the miniseries?
No, I haven't watched any It thing at all. So.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's linear, like all the kid stuff happens and then the adult stuff happens, or if it jumps back and forth. But there's
I don't know.
It
but
appears
two,
every
timelines.
27 years, so that factors into the time jump.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're going to do the sequel after a time jump. So that's kind of cool, and it sounds like it's definitely going to happen, because the movie is the highest grossing horror movie opening of all time. So, and I think the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes have been like extremely positive.
I think it was the critical
this.
reviews were at 100%, at least at least as of like last Friday or so.
Top critics have it at 83, so it's very, very heavily within the good column. I think the biggest criticism I have seen, though, is I think what you even said, saying it doesn't really scare you, though. It's more creepy than scary. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just doesn't. It isn't.
Well, and like, how do you even?
Which is fine.
How do you even scare somebody when they're? I don't know. There's a couple of jump scares. There was at least one jump scare that got me, but is that really being scared, or is that just being surprised? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think like the real fear from a horror movie doesn't happen until after you've watched it and you're like alone at night or something, and then you start thinking about it, and then it gets you.
I think a good example of what makes a really good horror movie is just the setting and the feeling of how this could happen to you, or this could be your situation. I think, like, for all of its faults, I think one of the greatest things about the movie Paranormal Activity is that it extremely got horror, because it got under your skin, because it was set up like real people, like encountering something. Same thing with like Blair Witch Project. Like it felt like something happening to real people than like a place that you could see, you know. Whereas, you know, it just really connects with you in that way as a horror thing. Whereas again, I think something that takes place in the 80s, you know, like this does, has a little disconnect, I think, in some ways.
And there's more of a buy-in with the world where you have to accept that it's just sort of a magical world in general. Whereas Paranormal Activity, it's like none of that stuff seems outside of the realm of possibilities.
No.
Because it's like, not like you see a big giant clown running around or something. Yeah,
like in Paranormal Activity, we've all had, you know, nights where we've woken up in the middle of the night and you're like, did the door just move? Like, what just happened? You know, and then that's kind of feeding on that fear. And so...
And now I just blame it on the cats.
I was going to say, and it's not like that's the only way to achieve horror in a horror movie. I mean, there's plenty of other ways to do it. That's just one way they did it. And it sounds like it didn't really find its way of doing that. But it is...
But yeah, I don't think that makes it any less of a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like if that's what you're going in for, you might not have got what you wanted, but it sounds like it was good. I do want to see it as well, because I've never even seen the original. I just haven't. Just no way.
Yeah, I saw the original was a mini series, and I saw it like a long time ago, and it was fine, but it had all of the trappings of a made-for-TV Stephen King miniseries. So you're better off just skipping straight to this one.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh man. So that's it. So see it. What do you give it out of 5? Panda
I got a 4.5 out of 5.
You can't.
I wasn't expecting super 4 out of 5 then, because I can't think of a movie that's 5 out of 5.
I can. There's very few.
Yeah.
Fargo, that's 5
There
out
was
of 5.
there was
Big
one
Lebowski, 5 out of 5.
scene that felt tonally off to me. For anyone that's seen it, the bathroom montage is just a little bit too poppy, and didn't really fit with the rest of the horror and dark, like foreboding kind of thing. But other than that scene, everything seemed really consistent and had me drawn into the whole deal. Go see it. You heard it here first. Yeah. This is the only place you're hearing someone say that it is a good movie.
Well, I mean,
what's a good movie?
It is.
I mean, it seems pretty good.
First?
He, the guy who directed it's Andy Muschietti.
Yeah,
he directed the movie
dude, right?
Mama. In 2013.
Oh, I remember hearing a lot about that, but I never actually saw it. So I should go watch that.
With Jessica Chastain, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. I guess they just that's two girls disappeared in the woods the day their mother was murdered. They were rescued years later by I guess their uncle and his girlfriend have been searching for them, and then they find them and they bring them back home. And well, it's one of those movies that's like, hey, do you think kids are a little creepy sometimes? That's this movie. So it sounds interesting. It sounds like that director really knocked out of the park with this one, though, because it is, if not a perfect movie, an extremely good watch that everyone's seeing because it's made box office records with its debut. So awesome. I'm glad to see, that we got a good movie. We don't root for things to be bad here on Born in the 80s. We want everything to be great. It just doesn't always happen to be that way. So keep an eye out for that one.
Sorry, Dark Tower. We had hope. Clever segue to next topic.
Well, I want to talk about the Equifax thing.
Yeah, please
do. You know what's really horrifying? Having your data stolen by hackers.
All right, I'm going to scare everyone for a second. So you guys are adults, right?
Well,
kind of.
In appearance only.
You guys are Americans, right?
On a strictly timed.
Okay, yeah.
Have you guys?
Yes?
Have you guys bought a car or a home loan or?
No, I like to live off the grid.
Have you applied for a credit card? Have you?
Oh yeah.
Applied for a job at some places?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done those things.
Your credit information has probably been compromised.
Oh,
because
good.
Equifax is one of the, I believe it's Equifax, right? It wasn't Experian. There's two of them that basically have the same fucking name. Okay,
Equifax.
So there's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. So there's three big credit companies that do the credit rating for consumers. So, like, the way the credit industry works is you have your credit history, and these three companies go through all of your credit cards, transactions, loans, and calculate a score based on how creditworthy you are. And then companies, like for job applications, will look at your credit score sometimes. Or if you want to apply for a lease, they'll run your credit history. If you want to apply for a car loan, apply for a home loan, they run your credit history. It's just there. And they'll use one of these big three unions to do it. And to do it, they need your date of birth, your social security number, and they give that off to the credit union, who everyone just assumed was extremely secure and kept all that information that you're given very confidential. So you may not be a person who has ever visited Equifax's website, has ever signed up for any of their services, has ever run a credit check on their website. But if someone's done it for you, your information likely was on there, because 143 million Americans, or people, lost their accounts, most of them American, had their accounts compromised in some way. Equifax hasn't gone into details, about how much information got out. They're just saying it could be everything, like the big things, like your name, your date of birth, your social security number. And what do you need to open a credit card? Your name,
Those things.
your date of birth, your social security number. They'll run a credit check and then put it in your name. So those are the big three things. That's why everyone says don't share your social security number with anyone. Only ever use it. And the only time you ever use it is like usually when you apply for a job or to get your or you're at a job and you get your W-2, or you apply for a loan or something. So it's like all these things you need that for. And it could all be out there now.
So I'm going to ask you a
insane.
philosophical question.
Yeah.
If everyone is fucked and everyone's fucked to the same amount, is no one fucked?
That is possibly not... I don't want to say there's any sort of silver lining on this. But the situation also is basically everyone got fucked. The majority of working American adults were probably fucked in some way in this. So just think about it as everyone got fucked. So it's really insane. And this is shady, and we're going to be hearing about it for years to come, because this hack happened in May and went through July, and now we're just hearing about it. So they didn't disclose this for a long time. Matt, do you want to guess? Do you want to guess
Did they
what
say
some of
when
the...
they discovered it?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, like
No,
if it
this
happened
is the first
and
time
then
they disclosed it.
No, but if they discovered it and then they just like didn't disclose it for a few months for whatever reason.
That is exactly what happened. They discovered it and then.
So it's not like it was an
disclose it for a few
open.
months.
Well, I guess it could have been open. An open thing that was being accessed by. We're all fucked. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yep.
A couple of the real fucked up things about this, and expect a class action lawsuit, and make sure you join it if you are affected.
This is something I heard, so I don't know. I can't verify how true it is, but so I heard that they'll offer credit monitoring services, and they'll make you click a little checkbox that says, I waive my right to participate in the class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that.
That has been reported. Equifax said that is not the case, that the Equifax website terms of service does not include the arbitration clause, which people thought it did, and it does say, but they're saying it doesn't. So I don't know legally, since you do check that box, they could still say that even though they're saying also that it's not part of it. It's a really weird thing. So here's what you can do. You can go to Equifax's website and see if your information got lost. Oh god, no, let's get about the fucked up part shit first. Equifax knew about this for months. And what did they do? One of their... Oh, man, I don't want to get this wrong because I'm going to be legally liable for slandering someone because this is fucking legal nonsense. Equifax, it was the COO, CEO. I got to Google this because I don't want to get this information wrong. Okay, let's go on cnnmoney.com. So let's go to NPR's website because I like that more than CNN. All right. So 3 executives of the credit reporting agency Equifax sold nearly $2 million of company stock within days of the massive data breach affecting 143 million Americans. One that wasn't publicly disclosed until a month later. So you're talking about there are 3 CEOs, or not CEOs, 3 executives in the company who just happened to sell a bunch of their stake in a company before a month later when the public learned about it and the stock dropped by enormous amounts. Yeah. So, do you know what insider trading is?
It's when you have inside knowledge
Exactly that.
and you trade with it.
It is when you make stock purchases or stock sales based on not publicly known information. Now, the executives in a statement have said that they were not aware of the breach at the time they'd sold their shares. I would say, and then this is just speculating because we have no clue, and this is all alleged at this point, so I'm not going to say I know anything, but I would say that if I was someone who was part of a company who didn't know that the most massive breach of consumer information has ever happened and did not know about it for within days and not immediately knowing about it, I would say to the board of directors, you should fire me, because I feel like if you're an executive of a company and there's the largest data breach ever in history, not in history, sorry, that was the Yahoo one, but the most damaging potentially data breach in history, and you don't know about it for days, that seems impossible, knowing how CEOs and executives run their business. They have their hands in everything. That's why they get paid the big bucks. They deal with everything. They know everything. I would say that if I was not a very honest person, I would learn about this, say, don't tell me anymore, sell off my stocks, and then be like, all right, now what do you have to say? Which is insider trading. You can try and do it as quickly as you can, but it looks bad when that happens.
Sir, Mr. CEO, sir, I have some news about our cybersecurity, but before I tell you, I have to say code word banana. Code word
exactly.
banana.
And that's insider trading, regardless. You can't try and worm your way out of this. And with a data breach this large and with this many people affected, you're going to have to imagine hell will rain upon these people. Okay, let's just say you're an adult that probably... I think most of the advice news I've been reading has said, I'm doing this as a public service because I want people to know this is a big deal. Most people have said, don't even bother going on their website for that. I'm going to wait until more information comes out about the class action lawsuit stuff. I don't want to deal with them. I've never used Equifax's website. I don't want to go on it now, especially after they've been breached, especially when you go to their data breach website, EquifaxSecurity2017.com, and they ask you for your date of birth or your name and your social and 6 digits of your social security number, which is insane that they're asking you for private information to confirm that you have been hacked, and you're giving your private information to a company that lost your data. Like, how is that even possible for people to think that that's an okay thing? What they're doing is offering you their Trusted ID Premier program, their credit monitoring service, for free for a year. 1 year. Are you fucking kidding me?
Safest
1
time
year.
to go to a restaurant is when they open up after being closed for health code violations.
Exactly. I mean, it's just insane to me that they're like, okay, well, sorry, we lost your data possibly. All right, sign up for our credit safety organization. We'll give you the first year free. After that, it's $17 a month.
Because we all know that Social
fuck you.
Security numbers expire every year.
Yeah. That shit's stuff that is never supposed to be leaked, never supposed to be lost. We don't know the severity of this data hack. This could be the situation where they got names, they got numbers, they got dates, but they didn't get a match together. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know the severity of this because they really haven't said much, because I'm sure they're still working on it. So here's the situation. Just imagine you're part of this. If you're an adult, you're probably in this in some way. Like, just assume that you've been hacked at this point. So what do you need to do? It's really easy. The tips on fixing this is great. I'll put a link up on the website in the document to how to survive the breach without Equifax's help. What you do, check your credit reports. You can go to Experian, I believe, or any of the other credit reporting websites. Fuck you, CNET, you goddamn monster. auto playing a loud ass video in my headphones when I load up your thing. But they have a really good report on this. So if it's been more than 3 months, you can check your data for free every once a year. You get it from each service, so you can go to Yep, go.
The best way to do that is by going to annualcreditreport.com.
Correct. You get it
And that will
free
give you-
once per year from each one because they're forced to allow you to do that. So a lot of people usually say you should check it every 4 months because you can use one from each one every 4 months. So just basically look through your reports and keep an eye out for any accounts that you didn't think you own. Whatever. If you suspect that, you can contact that credit card company's fraud department and work at it. They'll probably ask you for forwarder ID, which the people won't have. So that's going to help you. And you can get it in a timely manner, and you can worry about going through the process of recovering from identity theft and getting your credit report fixed.
If you go to annualcreditreport.com, there's a little graphic at the bottom that says, brought to you by TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. They might want to update.
Well, they're forced to do it. So, okay, freeze your credit. That's the first thing you need to do. This is really easy to do. It costs money, though. Because of course it does. But what you need to do is call Equifax, call Experian, and call TransUnion. And it takes like 5 minutes. You call these numbers and you say you want to freeze your credit.
Is this specifically if you see like fishy stuff or just in general?
Just do it now. It's not. I don't even know how much it costs. They don't say on this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be under $20 to do all three. And what you do is you set up a PIN number, and you say I want my credit frozen, and they need this PIN number to authorize any credit checks or any new accounts. And so basically what will happen is if somebody tries to open up a credit card in your name and they ping any of these three, which are the only three credit check companies that you can open a credit card from, they'll say, oh, this account is locked, we need a PIN number to proceed. And then the credit card company will call you saying, hey, we see your credit's frozen. We need this to proceed. And then that way, if you do this, no one will be able to open an account in your name because they won't be able to do that step without your approval. So you also need to never lose that PIN number because to unfreeze, you're going to have to do that. But it's really easy. The best thing to do is to do that. I plan on doing it tomorrow when I got time on the first day for all three and just getting it done. And it'll add a little hassle, but just remember that you've frozen your credit when you're applying for a car loan or a home loan or something. And they'll be like, they'll call you and deal with it. So, the other thing you can do is set up a fraud alert, and each one of those companies, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, offer not some crazy paid thing that they're giving you a year for free, but they actually offer a credit alert, initial fraud alert, and they last for 3 months, for 90 days, and then you have to renew it. And what that will do is when a new account is opened, you'll get an alert, basically. When an account in your name is attempted to be opened, you'll get an alert, basically, and so you'll know to do it. So you combine that with the credit freeze, there's basically no way anyone can try and steal your identity in terms of applying for money or credit cards. And just do that and keep that tied up, and then worry about tax season when they try and file taxes under your name and take your refund. Because that happened last year and the year before that with people that had their identity stolen.
I don't want that.
I believe
to happen.
those don't use Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. They just need your social.
Oh, so I'm
date of birth.
live doing this annualcreditreport.com, and you can select which companies you want to go through. So you could say
Correct.
Not Equifax, but
Correct.
the other
I would
two
just choose one because you get one free per year from each. So just do one of them, TransUnion or Experian.
Oh, and then I could do one of the other ones later.
and then you could do another one 3 months down the line and do the check then. So that way you can see what your progress is at. So only ever do one of those at a time because they're all pretty much going to say the exact same thing. I haven't checked mine in a while. Now I'm really interested in checking it out because I'm generally pretty safe online. But, this is something you didn't have to give your information for. This is something that someone gave your information to on your behalf, like through a job application or something. You know what I mean? Like this is, yeah. So this could be something that you don't have. So don't even bother trying to do anything through Equifax. Just freeze your credit set up the alerts. At the very least, freeze your credit, and then join the class action lawsuit when it happens, and hopefully you'll get enough cash out of the class action lawsuit to cover the money it costs for you to freeze your credit.
I'm getting an error that they're temporarily unable to obtain my credit report, so I wonder if they're just getting flooded with requests.
And it could also be that the people that have hacked you have already claimed the free one. I'm not saying that that's happened. No, it says
temporarily. It would say if it was.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that they've been flooded with this lately. So I'm sure a lot more will come of this. I love that they announced this on a Friday. Obviously, all business news is announced on a Friday. That's bad.
Yeah, everything that you really, really want to make sure that people definitely see is announced on a Friday.
Yes. So that's the case, though. So I just want people to be safe out there. Don't have your identity stolen. You don't need to sign up for one of those identity protection account things. If you want to, I don't know how those work. Like, I forget the names of those things. Those identity theft services.
I got a free year back when Target got hacked, and I don't think it was too difficult to sign up for.
Yeah, so that might be something to look into as well, but I don't know anything about those. The credit freeze is something you can do right away. And it's really easy, and it doesn't really affect much about your life. Because you just need to have that PIN number saved. So, you get that PIN number. How do you keep that secure? You write it down on a piece of paper and keep it in a locked drawer or in a safe. That's how you can always be sure you're never going to lose that. And you don't put it on your email. You don't put it in your phone. Make it so there's only one place they can get that, and that is breaking into your house. Oh, fuck, man. What a way to ruin my fucking vacation by me learning about that and me freaking about my credit, because I'm trying to possibly buy a house pretty soon. And it's like, I need my credit to look good.
Yeah, that's your problem. I already know my credit's undesirable.
Well, last I checked, my credit was on very good, bordering on excellent, and I was hoping I could get a good home loan off that, and I don't want that to be ruined by fucking Experian or Equifax losing my goddamn information to a bunch of fucking hackers. I just got an email from Rockstar Games Social Club confirming a reset to choose a new password.
Nope.
Which I'm assuming you didn't submit.
We have received a request to reset your password. Please confirm the reset to choose a new password. Otherwise, you can ignore this email. Nope, I didn't do that, but I have to assume somebody tried to. But of course, to request a password reset, all you need is some username, which is probably the same as my Steam username. So, but yeah, so.
Yeah. All right. But, how are we doing on time? Are we all talked out?
Pretty good. I don't know what else we got to go over. That was the big thing. I had a vacation. I can talk about that next time. We can talk about some of this other stuff, the PUBG stuff.
Cool.
Science Corner next time.
I'll finish watching season 1 of True Detective.
Yeah. You can see that time is a flat circle.
It is.
I'll talk about the podcast I was listening to, because I've got 5 minutes left, and I've listened to the entire history of the podcast.
Oh, wow. You're getting through it.
I love doing that. Discovering a new show and then just, spending weeks on it.
Well, this is more like week.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And the thing is, and we'll discuss it more next time, is I know, Matt, you'd like it because he's into making his own music the way you do it. John, I think you'd like it because it's very mental and meta. I like it because it's meta. Never mind. But you like it because he's well-spoken, like I'm not. Because I mumble and I...
Is it about
whatever.
people being miserable? Because then John will love it.
There's part of that, too.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Born in the 80s. I'm your host, Matt Haig.
Nope. You can go to borninthE80s.net. That's our website.
And while you're there on boardontheages.net, you can join our Discord by clicking the Discord link in the left sidebar, or you can help us out and donate to our Patreon, so we're not still in the negative just by putting out episodes.
When our
we're close
when our
to breaking
credit
even,
gets
folks.
stolen,
we'll be
fall
able
back
to
on our Patreon monies.
Yeah.
But yeah, even 50 cents a month, $1 a month,
Yep.
Nothing. We're not expecting
every
a lot.
little bit's helpful, and we'll give you a shout out if you do. If you
course.
can't, totally, I had no stress, no pressure.
And we'll send you nudes if you donate enough.
Even if you don't donate, I'll send you nudes.
Of Betty White.
I'm gonna go full. I'm gonna go
That's
full
a
Nick
real
Robinson.
thing. He didn't
slide
believe
into
me,
DMs.
but Betty White nudes were a real thing from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to me, TP Poker. I'm telling you the truth.
John, where else can they catch it besides on boardontheages.net?
Oh God, where else can they catch it?
On the credit monitoring
on Twitch?
website.
Catch you. Yeah.
Which? Oh, me, John_Danger on Twitter.
And you can find me at Matt Hag Music everywhere on Twitter, on this thing we're on streaming now, and on find me on Spotify or whatever thing you stream music on and stream my shit.
Yep. And you can find me everywhere on the internet at May of May, except for on Twitter. Fuck. I'm at May of May 84 on Twitter, or just search for May of May. You'll find me. I do stream usually at least once a month. It is September. I don't think we've set up a new ROM of the month, but we can discuss that next time.
Yeah, we played Idiots. I didn't play it,
You
but
played
we did.
Eighties. I did. I streamed it.
Oh, snap.
At least
I
think
was going to
did.
play it, but
Well-
then I overslept that month.
Yeah, I basically need to do that, but I don't because I'm a bad person. But we haven't had too many listeners talking about it, so I feel like I want to keep doing it though. So we'll have a new one for September next week.
It's a lot of fun, and then you can join the discussion on our
Discord.
Discord channel.
Yep.
And if people bug me enough, we'll actually put like bots and cool stuff in there for people to mess around with.
Yeah. All right.
All right, take care, everyone.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If
Turn this
any hackers
garbage
are
off.
listening, my social security number is 874. Hit the button so whenever the delay catches up,
Yep.
you'll be.
I'll wait for my notification. There it is. All right. I have a stopwatch on. Go. All right. Red. That's a green side. Let's move to green. Swap it down. Bring that back. Oops. Riff. Rib. Burn. Fire.
So I'll let this go until he's done.
Alright, that's the way. So front flip the way, pull flip back the way, and done. 232. Okay.
Yay! And you timed it with the music so nicely.
Perfect. Alright, go ahead. Let's do this.
All right, let me go to YouTube.
How about that Pewdiepie, huh?
No,
You just
Yeah.
save it for the podcast. God damn it.
Pewdie who?
Pewdiepie? All right, let's listen in. All right, this is me at level. I'm on voice, or I'm on studio. Are you on studio, Matt?
I should be on studio.
Okay. And TJ, what do you sound like?
An ass.
That's true.
So, like this.
Oh, let me check the levels. I gotta edit them. Okay, we sound good. I'm gonna run downstairs quick because I need to.
Beverage up.
Well, I need to update my antivirus. I've gotten to the point where I have to put my credit card information in, and I changed my credit card since last time I used this, so I need
Okay,
to.
do me a favor before you get started,
Yeah.
and show the credit card to the camera when you get up here.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank
And
you.
the back of it, too.
Yep. And the yeah, you know.
Last four of your social.
Yep, get it all.
Are we live on Twitch yet?
Not yet. We can be though.
We can probably get up. Yeah.
Get it up, get up, get it up.
Move in, now move out. Hands up, now hands down. Back up, back up. Tell me what you want to do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Back that ass up. Something, working with.
That's a different song.
I don't know songs.
Yeah, that one's a shake your ass. Show me what you're working with. Yeah. Oh, I can watch you on Twitch.
You can watch me on Twitch.
I can watch you.
You can watch me on
You can watch
Twitch.
us on
Vocal warm-ups. Hey,
Twitch.tv.
my friend May of May has just started watching. Whoa.
with administrative control.
Whoa.
All right. So, what's up?
So
What's up, my
just go
doges?
number by number for your credit card.
Well, I'm sure everyone has it
Unique.
now.
Oh, you
Unique
guys, I quit.
New York.
Polygon's hiring a new video producer, so I quit this.
You'll still do this though.
Oh, yeah.
What the heck?
This podcast. Well, you should apply for it, Matt.
Yeah, and then I
Can't
could
hurt.
slide into all those DMs. That's what. the kids
Hell
are saying,
yeah,
right?
boy!
My phone decided to connect to Wi-Fi all by itself again.
Oh, that's good. It's trying to save you minutes. Now this.
Minibytes.
Wait, did I get to Google Drive? Okay. I don't even have any notes this week.
I do. I saw some stuff.
I played a new game. And that reminds me, I need to enter like a million more codes because I got a bunch more.
Taco Bells.
No. I've been entering those codes. I'm 0 for 5 now.
Oh man, you guys
Okay.
are just going all in on those codes.
I only got 3.
Well, mostly because it's the steak quesarito, which is awesome.
Oh,
And
that's
it
the
comes
reason
with a
I only
nice,
have 3, because I did go to Taco Bell a 4th time, but I ordered a chicken quesarito.
You can
I
still do
like
it in
that.
the same box.
Can I do that? Can I just
Get it in the box.
order like a bunch of boxes?
Yeah.
Can I have all of the boxes?
Someone misheard me and thought I wanted the when I said the steak quesarito box, they heard the quesarito box and got me the ground beef quesarito, and I still got the code.
So it's any
gonna complain.
quesarito. I'm gonna test that theory.
Yeah,
Quesarito.
I'm pretty sure they'll let you screw with it.
Yeah. Just get the quesarito box. Can you do it chicken? I mean, I already do the
You-
tacos no lettuce because I figure I'll
My
take away all the
favorite
healthy
thing about
stuff.
these contests is there's some law that they always have to have a way that you can enter without purchasing anything. So it's
Yeah.
on this one you have to
Did you
like
do that yet?
no, but you have to like mail them a letter. And there's
Usually have
one
to mail
you-
a self-addressed stamp envelope.
yeah. I did that
and
back in the
that
day
way-
for the McDonald's Monopoly thing, and I got like
And that way they'll just send you a letter back that says you lost.
yeah. No, for the McDonald's Monopoly thing, it was actually a good deal because I would spend like money on a stamp and you would get 6 game pieces back, and at least one of them was
Oh,
usually a
man.
free food item. So for 30 cents you get like free nuggets or free sundae or whatever. That was back when I was a shrewd preteen.
I get that song so mad now. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Alright, oh yeah. Just reading a couple things. Getting a couple news
I'm
stories
gonna try and
before.
figure out how to make the top of Twitter with hashtags.
Oh yeah, we have to do the hashtag nonsense.
Hashtag. Show me what you're hashtagging with.
For the longest time, I've only heard the clean version of that particular song. So instead of shake your ass, it's shake it fast. Same meaning, but I didn't even get it. It's kind of like let's get it started. Yeah.
In here.
Let's get it started in here. Get what started? Like we turning on a light? Are we calling on our ocean friends?
I love this. I was just looking at Pewdiepie memes that John's been retweeting.
I can't believe that I was just on Twitter and then that happened real time, and I was just like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Well,
It just happened today.
I'm saving my words because I have at least one or two thoughts. And then I don't.
So you're saving your words so you can use them?
Yes, I'm.
So you can
gonna
use your
my
words?
The one thing at that retro game thingy yesterday, TJ, was that no one had use your words or the party pack game.
Jackbox
I
anything?
was severely disappointed.
I've played another one because PlayStation is doing a whole set of games called PlayLink. Problem is you can't really stream it because they don't really have stream delays to... Well, we can talk about that during the podcast too. But myself and my daughter played a game called That's You, where you take a selfie of yourself on the camera, and some of the stuff actually involves when you're on your phone to use your camera, and it's like, make a face that best looks like this, and then everyone has to vote on who made the best face. So some picture stuff in addition to just questions about each other.
okay.
It would be
That
me.
game's kinda
I'd
more
win every
like
time because I have the best face.
Yeah, that's more like the smartphone version of the compatibility board game than it is like either like a quiz show or a fill in the prompt and be the funniest. But they have other games coming out. There is a quiz show called Knowledge is Power. There's a...
Pork.
You got a little Bork doll thing from the new movie? That's not out yet?
Yeah, I got it
Pork?
like
Yeah.
the other, like last Sunday, I think.
Yeah, well, PlayLink also has a thing called Hidden Agenda coming out, which is kind of a 4-player murder mystery, and you guys all help solve the mystery together. But there's a game mode where one of the people has a hidden agenda, kind of like faking it, but it's a murder mystery.
That sounds cool. I dig murder mystery games.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
There's
I'm
like
gonna
a
get them all for free.
subscription box where they'll send you murder mystery clues every month, and you have to solve it. Solve the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find a story.
I know about 3 of the stories you've got, so that's cool. I didn't know that skim gambling's back up in the thing.
I'll just find an article. Here's a more recent one. I haven't played this game in a while, but...
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life.
Are we on Twitch yet?
Yeah, we should be.
We've been on Twitch for a while. I think
We've got a viewer. And it's
That's
TJ.
me.
Let's get Twitch up, and let's get...
Let me
Okay,
go
all
worse
these other
quality so
tabs
I'm more
closed.
live.
Let me find you
really
on
bad
talk
internet.
shows so that I can tweet salad you.
Yeah, tweet my salad. Ugh.
Oh, Twitter, yeah.
That's something different, but... Okay, let me browse IRL so I can get up, what's her name stream?
Pink sparkle.
Pink sparkles.
It's so generic that I forget what it is. It's like glitter, sparkle color, pink, purple, something.
Miss America. The Orville. I just go on like the trending tabs. Irma. 2017. Hashtag Pewdiepie.
Hashtag Steve Bannon. I don't know what is he. Oh,
Sorry.
Bannon has
I can't
declared war on the GOP.
backspace.
What a fucking weird time.
Hashtag Giants Pride. Oh, too many. Wait, nope. Remove the space. We're at 0. Boom! Tweet it out.
Yeah.
All right, hashtag salad. So we got hashtag Miss America, hashtag the Orville, hashtag NYG vs. Dow, hashtag Irma 2017, hashtag PewDiePie is over party, hashtag PewDiePie, hashtag Giants Pride, New York.
What did I just do?
I wish
broke
that
it.
was like giants, like
actual
Like-
giants? Like large humans? We lost John.
stream before my trip.
Oh,
It's a
you
boob
froze. You froze, man.
I'm
You're
not
back,
frozen.
though. You froze for like several seconds.
Well, it's probably because I opened up ENG in brackets quick stream before my trip. ST Peaches stream. It's using up all my bandwidth. Watching this
Now-
streamer boobs.